Imagine waking up every morning with a clear mind, a set plan, and the discipline to follow through no matter what. No procrastination, no distraction, just consistent action toward your goals. You don't waste time thinking about what to do. You don't rely on motivation to get started. You simply execute again and again until results become inevitable. Now here's the truth most people don't understand. That level of discipline isn't something you're born with. It's something you train for. It's not a personality trait. It's not something a few lucky people have. It's a skill. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to build that skill using something called the Lotus Method, a simple but powerful system that will help you stay focused, eliminate bad habits, and develop the kind of self-control that successful people rely on every single day. If you've ever struggled with consistency, if you've ever started strong but slowly lost momentum, then this is going to change the game for you. Stick with me till the end. Before we jump into the method, we need to fix one major misunderstanding. Discipline is not the same thing as motivation. Most people think they need more motivation, but that's actually the problem. Motivation is like a spark. It feels powerful at the beginning. It gives you energy. It makes you feel like you can do anything, but it doesn't last. You've probably experienced it before. You set a goal, you feel excited, you start taking action. For a few days, everything feels easy, but then something changes. You wake up one day, and you don't feel like doing it anymore. You start procrastinating, you lose focus, you tell yourself you'll start again tomorrow. And just like that, you're back where you started. That's the relapse. And it happens because motivation is unreliable. It depends on your emotions. It depends on your mood. It depends on how you feel in the moment. But discipline doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't wait for the perfect mood. It doesn't need excitement. It simply shows up, even when you're tired, even when you're bored, even when you don't feel like doing anything at all. That's the difference. Real success isn't built on motivation. It's built on discipline, because success isn't about working hard when you're inspired. It's about showing up every single day, no matter what. So the question is, how do you train your brain to become disciplined? That's where the Lotus Method comes in. The lotus flower is one of the most powerful symbols in nature. It grows in muddy, dirty water, in an environment full of chaos and impurity, and yet it rises above all of it completely clean, untouched, and strong. No matter how messy its surroundings are, the lotus still blooms beautifully. That's what makes it unique. And that's exactly how discipline works. You don't wait for perfect conditions. You don't wait for life to get easier. You train yourself to rise above the distractions, the temptations, and the chaos around you. You become someone who takes action regardless of what's happening externally. And the Lotus Method is built on 4 stages that mirror this exact process. Every lotus starts with strong roots. Without roots, it can't grow. Without roots, it can't rise. And the same applies to discipline. If you don't have a strong mental foundation, your discipline will collapse the moment things get difficult. So the first step is clarity. You need to ask yourself a simple but powerful question. Why do you want to be disciplined? Not surface level answer, not vague ideas, a real reason. Because when things get hard, and they will, your reason is what keeps you grounded. If your why is weak, your discipline won't survive pressure. Next comes your environment. Most people think discipline is all about willpower. But here's the truth. Your environment shaped your behavior far more than your willpower ever will. If your phone is always next to you, you will get distracted. If junk food is always available, you will eat it. If your surroundings are chaotic, your focus will suffer. So instead of trying to fight temptation, remove it. Design your environment in a way that makes discipline easier. And finally, start small. This is where most people go wrong. They try to change everything at once. They set huge goals, they create unrealistic routines, and they burn out. Instead, start tiny. 1 push-up, 5 minutes of reading, 10 minutes earlier, wake up. These small actions might seem insignificant, but they build momentum. And momentum is what turns small habits into powerful routines. Once your roots are in place, the lotus begins to grow upward. This is where strength is built. This is where resistance is tested. And for you, this stage is about self-control. Because discipline isn't just about starting, it's about continuing even when it's uncomfortable. One of the most effective tools for this is the 5-second rule. Whenever you feel hesitation, count down from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. This interrupts overthinking. It forces immediate action, and over time, it trains your brain to move before doubt takes over. Another powerful concept is delayed gratification. Most people are controlled by instant pleasure. They check their phone immediately. They give in to cravings immediately. They avoid discomfort immediately. And every time they do this, they weaken their discipline. So instead, practice waiting. Delay the urge, even for a few minutes, because every time you choose long-term gain over short-term pleasure, you strengthen your self-control. Now the lotus reaches the surface, and this is where it blooms. For you, this stage is focus, because once you have control, you need direction. You need the ability to lock in on a task and stay there, without distractions, without interruption. And this is exactly where most people struggle. Not because they lack talent, not because they're lazy, but because they lack focus. In a world full of notifications, endless scrolling, and constant noise, your attention is under attack. So if you want discipline, you don't just need willpower, you need a system. And one of the most powerful systems you can use is time blocking. Instead of working randomly, reacting to whatever comes your way, you take control of your time. You assign specific hours to specific tasks. You decide in advance what you're going to do and when you're going to do it. And during that time, nothing else exists. No notification, no social media, no switching between tasks, just deep, focused work. Because real results don't come from scattered effort. They don't come from doing 10 things at once. They come from one thing, done with full attention. Deep focus is what separates average from exceptional. It's where progress happens. It's where growth happens. It's where your goals start becoming reality. But here's the truth most people ignore. Starting is easy. Anyone can feel motivated for a day or two. Anyone can begin. The real challenge is continuing. That's where discipline becomes a lifestyle. That's where most people fall off. So, how do you sustain it? First, track your progress. Write it down. Measure it. Make it visible. Because what gets tracked improves. When you see your progress in front of you, it creates accountability. It reminds you that your actions matter. Second, never miss twice. You're going to have bad days. You're going to slip up. That's normal. But don't let one mistake turn into a habit. Miss once? Fine. Miss twice? That's where the pattern begins. So reset immediately. Get back on track the next day, no excuses. And finally, change your identity. This is the most powerful shift you can make. Stop saying, I want to be disciplined. Start saying, I am a disciplined person, because your identity drives your behavior. When you see yourself differently, you act differently. When you believe you're disciplined, you start doing what disciplined people do. And over time, those actions become automatic. Now that you understand this, here's what I want you to do. Pick one habit, just one. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Keep it specific. And apply this method. Root, stem, bloom, thrive. For the next 7 days, stay consistent, track your progress, and see what happens. Because small actions, repeated daily, change everything. If you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe, and comment below with the habit you're working on. I'd love to hear it.